I think it's very good for
Ah,
everybody.
oke, sekarang dah
Sekarang
Prof.
dah. Okay. Okay, today we talk about effective presentations. All right. To get us thinking, we think about presentation showmanship. It is a performance. Presentation is a performance. So tell me why you like watching YouTube videos. I hope to hear from at least 3, 4 persons. If you can talk, it's better than in the chat because it disturbs. Why do you like watching YouTube videos?
Hello, Prof.
Yeah, Jonathan.
Hey, Prof. So, because it is as a form of entertainment, so we can, chill, relax, unwind, and then at the same time, right, we are able to gain more, new knowledge, new information, and so on.
Okay, thanks. So it's entertaining and also informative. Okay, some more?
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, Prof.
Yes,
Um,
Agnes.
I think it would be the way they present, so you have the audio and visual input.
You like what you see and what you hear.
Yeah. So it's different from you read something, so it will be a different form of information input.
Okay, all right, thank you. Nobody else?
Hi, Prof.
Yes, thank you, Shima, for speaking.
I like to watch YouTube videos because it's free. I don't
Mm-hmm.
have to pay for it. At
Uh,
the same time, it always answers my curiosity. For example, if I want to know something, so instead, sometimes we can find in Google or Chat GPT, things like that. But when we go to YouTube, we can have detailed explanation maybe.
okay, thank you. Satisfies your curiosity. Great. So you like watching YouTube videos, the things you hear, the way people say it also. So I want you to be able to be that kind of YouTuber as well. Hopefully, what I teach you will make you a YouTuber, but in the research context. Maybe some of the things I teach you can take you beyond the research context as well. All right, let's move on. Okay, can you speak like them? All right, later. Maybe some of you already do. All right. Now, today you will learn to, number one, deliver a winning presentation, and number two, make engaging slides. So it is about you as the performer and also your content, the one that is showing the materials about your studies. So I want to talk about number one, the human that is you. And the advice is very simple. Talk, do not read. And number two, the content, that is the slides. It has to be interesting, entertaining, informative, but does not bore people, even though it is research. Right, so let's go into it. The human, you are the performer. It is a showmanship that you need to show. Okay, so you do need to dress up for the event, look good, and be confident. So we look at how to talk and not read. It is very simple advice, and yet many of us, many of you do not follow. So the only way to talk and not read from the slide is to rehearse. Rehearse. Okay, rehearse. Yeah. Until you know exactly what is on the slide. The slide is there, and your eyes will look at 1 to 2 words. It will remind you what is on the slide and you will talk. You don't need to look at the slides actually because it is all in your head. For my master's defense in UPM, I rehearsed 8 times. I was staying in a hostel. I waited until my roommate has gone for her lectures. I stood in front of the mirror and I talked to myself. Those days, we don't use PowerPoint slides. We use the transparency. So I imagine myself changing the transparency, standing there looking at myself in the mirror. I rehearsed 8 times because UPM was very strict. If you fail the defense, that is it. You don't get to present a second time. Okay. So you need to rehearse by talking aloud to yourself. It is not looking at the PowerPoint slides and moving them and imagining you talking in the head. It is not the same. When I prepare for presentations, I still talk aloud to myself, even now, after so many years. About 2 weeks ago, we went to make a progress report presentation for the grant. I went with my colleague. She said I have to present certain part, and I rehearsed 3 times in my office before going. She said she rehearsed 12 times in order to get the grant, the first presentation she made. So even though we are lecturers, seasoned, so-called, talking in the lecture hall every day, we still make an effort to rehearse because every word we say counts. We do not say anything extra. We may sometimes say a little less, but we control what we say. And the only way to achieve it is to rehearse. And for me, when I make the slides and I talk aloud, I realize that the sentences do not work because they are written for a paper. They are, for you, written for a thesis. It is very written. It doesn't sound correct. It is bookish. And I will actually rewrite the sentences so that they sound spoken and natural. And I also work on the transitions between slides because it's very important. That's how you tell a good story, a research story. So rehearse 5 to 8 times. And I also memorize my first 3 opening sentences because when I stand in front, I talk and I look at the people. My eyes will look at everybody in the room, maybe from the left to the right, if you prefer from the right to the left. But I will look at everybody and my 3 sentences will come out naturally because I memorize them. And then maybe I will look at the slide to continue. And that is how you make a good impression. Always think, what are they hearing from us? Not just what we want to tell them. Therefore, we need to know who we are talking to. So you are going to do your defense. You are going to talk to lecturers who are going to give you marks. So there are things you need to know. This is the situation. If you are making a results presentation and a viva at the end, you are also trying to convince people that this is an important study and I have done it well and I know my stuff. So remember, they are evaluating you. You need to keep that in mind. When you make a conference presentation, nobody is evaluating you, but you want to make a good impression. Maybe they will invite you to come back and give another talk and pay you. Or you will have friends coming up to you and say, I really like your presentation. I like your research. And they will ask for your contact and then maybe they will cite you because in the research world, citation, the moment our name gets mentioned in their paper, in their thesis, Google Scholar will count it. So you will become more visible. In any case, you need to make a good impression, all right? So always remember the audience. What are they there for? Why are you making the presentation? Because you need to change your presentation to suit different purposes. From the defense to the results presentation to the viva, the things got to be changed. Maybe if your slides are already good, the slides will stay the same, but the emphasis you put will be different for the 3 occasions. They cannot be exactly the same. All right. Rehearse. Now I have a question for you. Is it necessary to say, I am so and so, and my name is so and so to start? I would like to hear an answer at least from one of you.
Prof.
Yes, Jonathan. Is it necessary to say, I'm Jonathan Tang, and I'm a PhD student in the Faculty of Education, Language and Communication? Just
Ya,
give
Prof.
me yes or no. I cannot hear.
Boleh, Prof. Okay, saya, Prof. Sebaiknya kita tak perlu introduce kita sendiri. Sebaiknya kita bagi satu situasi lah, maksudnya apa yang kita nak nak buat dalam kajian kita tu.
Betul. Thank you, Dayang. Your name is on the slide. It is very big there, and you would have put that you are a PhD candidate, PhD defense. So there is no need to say I am so and so. Okay, so Dayang is correct. You introduced the situation. I was in UMS yesterday and the day before, and I made a presentation there. Okay, I introduced myself by saying I come from University Malaysia Sarawak. I came here on the 6 a.m. flight this morning. It is just to make myself as a human to them, and they laughed because 6 a.m. is very early. And I say all these years I have been teaching research methods since 2003. It is just a simple background. And if you have a research that is based on the grant, you will say that this research that I'm sharing with you is based on the grant that I got 2 years ago, and I would like to share the results with you. You know, you don't need to say I am so and so because it is very schoolish, I think. All right, next. Should you start with your personal reasons for doing the research? Example, my relative had cancer, so I want to study how people talk about it. I want to hear your reply, yes or no. Should you start with your personal reasons for doing the research?
Prof, can I
Maybe
say
no,
that
Prof.
I'm in
Ah.
the gray matter relating to this one?
So you want to say yes or no? I don't want you to sit on the fence, Daphne.
Okay. I think
No,
could be
Prof.
yes.
For me,
Could be yes. Jonathan, what is your answer?
I would say no, Prof.
Okay, you will say no. Any more who would like to be another voice here?
Hi, Prof.
Cheryl,
My opinion, yes.
you'll be yes.
Yes, I believe that I mean, in my opinion, I think it's okay to start with personal experience first and then supported by facts.
Okay.
Mm.
For the first one, Dayang got it spot on. You tell about your project. Example, how long you started. But the second one, it is not a straightforward yes or a no. It is really very much dependent on the panel there. Okay. For me, I would say no, because I want you to start your research based on the literature, the gap you found. That is different from what other people have found. But some people want to know whether there is a personal reason to start. But even if you use the personal reason, you must really anchor it in the field, because I have seen how it backfired. Because when I was either the one of those who examine, or I was supervisor, or just like audience, and the student were asked this. I did not know whether my colleague was hoping to get a yes or to get a no, but when the answer came out, the student got bombarded. So it is a bit difficult to know whether it is the right thing to do. But I think like this, you are doing research, the best way is to give the gap. This is the current state of knowledge. This is why I'm going into it. If they really, really want to know your personal reason, they will say, do you have a personal reason or motivation for this? Then you tell. it is safer to start on the research because you are making a research presentation. Okay, now, still on the human, now, how to talk and not read. Because the moment you read, your body language is not good anymore. The eye contact is immediately lost. The eyes are on the slides, the eyes are on the phone, the eyes are on the notes. You break eye contact with the audience. In your YouTube, they look at you very lovingly straight into your eyes. They never go and look here, look there to refer to things. So work at that, eye contact. Look around the room. If you are doing online presentation and video recording, look at the camera. Try to make sure that you are not looking downwards, but look at the camera. If you are in the room, this is the advice from one Toastmasters, you fix your eyes on people 4 seconds. That means you are not just swiveling your head around. He has a strategy, not that you have to look from left to right in one go, but you work it out so that everybody feels that you have looked at them and you are talking to them 4 seconds. Always face the audience. When I was trained to teach English in USM, the lecturers who taught me, those days we used chalk and we write on the board. They taught us to write on the board this way, not to turn our back and our bum to the audience. We write this way on the board. Now, teacher training never emphasize this. I see teachers just turn around and show the bum to the audience, to the students. No, actually, we were trained to write like this. Facing the student and our hand can write on the board. Eye contact, never break it. This Toastmasters person actually said he moves a little bit in the room. He never turns around to go back. He actually go backwards like this. You step back to go. Then you step forward. He never turns around. Okay. Number 2, facial expression. Smile. For some people, smiling is natural, like to me. But some of you may find it very hard to smile. But at least connect with the people. Yes, there are people who find it hard to show the teeth and the smile. My husband is one of them. So he actually used a face app to put a smile on his face. I said, why don't you just show your teeth? He said, cannot, it doesn't work. All right. So facial expression, at least show you are interested in who you are talking to. I know you are tense, sure. Try. Because the facial expression is important. Yeah. People reciprocate, okay? And people will smile back. Okay, the way is you look at people who look interested, and then when you look at them, you will feel very encouraged, and then you continue talking and explaining, but cannot make sure your eyes doesn't go to that one person. You cannot forget the other people in the room, but you know, if you feel a bit jittery, look at that smiley face and you know, okay, he or she is interested in what I'm saying. Hand gestures, it has to be appropriate. It's natural to most of us, but control it so that we are not like a helicopter spinning around here, okay? And if you are very jittery, don't put your hand on the table, then the whole table will shake along with you. I mean, I have seen that. Sometimes, there was one particular time, my legs were even shaking, and I don't even know why. Maybe it's an expectation I set up for myself, but luckily it went away. Okay, voice. I guess this is most important. That's why I put in capital letters, plus the eye contact. Voice, loud and clear. Actually, now, if you walk in front of my office, even though the door is closed, you can hear me talking. Even though the mic is right in front of me and I am very near the microphone, you still have to project your voice. If you are in the room, making a conference presentation, as there's a mic in front of you, you still have to project your voice. Do not just mumble into it because something is amplifying your voice. It's not the same when you don't project your voice. You have to. That's why they say teachers and lecturers got no problem. You know, you can talk in a typhoon and people can hear you. Yes, you need to project your voice. Voice is very important. Eye contact, facial expression, hand gestures. You see, in a slide, the most important information is actually the last. But a lot of people put the first as very important. But in any case, the first and the last are important. The middle are less important. That's why I put eye contact and voice as very important. This is how we position the bullet points. It is not anyhow. Okay. So I have questions for you about body language. Is it okay to sit and present like me now? You sometimes have to come here to the faculty to make your defense presentations, results or Viva presentation. Is it okay to sit and present?
Hello, doctor.
No? Yeah?
Yeah, professor. Yeah, for me, no, not okay.
Not okay. All right. Any other views?
Not okay also.
Not
Prof.
okay.
Okay, kalau bentang fizikal tu tak sesuai Prof. Dia kena berdiri dan nampak yakin.
Yeah.
Kalau
If you
kita
are,
kalau recording terpaksalah kita duduk.
betul,
Sebab kita
betul.
nak control audio, control kita punya slide.
Thank you for all your responses. If you are in the, yes, another one talking, yes, iPhone. Okay. If you are in the room making physical presentation, you should stand. Just stand and then use the finger to move the page down. You should stand. Do not sit. If you ask the people, can I sit? Of course, they tell you it's okay. But you yourself should know that if you stand, yes, you are more confident. You also tend to project your voice more. So stand. For a recorded video, is it okay to show only slides and not yourself?
No, must show our face.
Yes, must show our face. Put it in the corner, all right? Must show our face. On some slides, when there are more text, you can actually make your photo a little bit smaller, the video of yourself, but you must still be seen because people are looking at you. They're not just looking at the text that you are scrolling through. And therefore, if you are making a presentation online, you must show your video. You cannot say, I only show my video during Q&A. You don't have to be reminded at all times, show yourself. If the internet connection is not good, go to a place where it is good and show your video. It's very important. The eye contact needs to be there. The connection with the audience needs to be there. That's why if you have a defense and if you have a results presentation and Viva, you should come here and try to do a physical one because you are in the room with the examiner. They look at you, that you are scared and you are, very enthusiastic. I think there is more compassion. When it is through a screen, it is not the same. I have this experience of the two China students. Actually, the standard of their thesis, bad, good, is about the same. One came here and she made the presentation. She was given major revision 6 months. The other one did it from China because she said she couldn't get leave early enough. Then she got a resubmission, 12 months. It makes a difference because the girl who got 6 months already got her certificate during the convo time. This other one, I'm supposed to check her revised thesis this weekend because the examiner has examined it the second time. This is not the first time I'm reading it. It's just that the first round of revision was not satisfactory. It does make a difference. She regrets and she's been telling other students, come here to make the defense or the Viva. Don't do it elsewhere, even though you can. Just because people tell you you can doesn't mean it is the best thing. Because when you are in the room, people connect with you. They look at you. The human person is there. I think there is more compassion. You also can hear better. Okay. So that is my advice because this one is very recent, June this year. And one is still feeling the impact of it. Next question. Is it okay to speed up recording to meet time limit? A little. you know?
No.
No, yes, no, it has to be natural. Just re-record, re-record, re-record until you get it right. But today I'm going to teach you some techniques. You can meet the time limit, there is no problem. And rehearsal also make you time it so nicely, okay? Is it okay to use AI voice?
No.
No. I think we are very old school. We do not want AI voice. In the FYP presentations, there was a girl who was very good. She is good, but she did not use her own voice. She used AI voice. We were taken aback, but we did not have, rules to mark them down. But if you are doing postgrad presentations and it happens to be online, I think you should still speak, even though the language doesn't come out so nicely, like the AI voice, the accent doesn't come out so great, but it is still you, the human, that people want to connect with. So the rule always is ask ourselves, can the audience see us clearly? Can we meet their eyes, look into their eyes? You can appeal to them through the eyes. And about the technical part, we want originality, you. So we want to listen to you, hear your voice. Never mind, that is Malaysian accent. Okay. This is the third and the last part of the human you, how to talk and not read. It happens during Q&A, okay? It happens during Q&A because nowadays some students are so-called very well prepared. They prepare, like my China student told me, I'm going to prepare 100 questions and 100 answers. And they listen for keywords, and they start to talk. It is not right. It is bad. Listen carefully. Because when you hear a keyword and you start to talk, you could be getting it wrong. You're not actually answering the question, but you're just reading something that looks like it. The one who said she will do 100 sample answers during the defense, the question was actually on objective one. She didn't listen carefully. She started to give a lengthy answer on objective two. So it's very clear to the two examiners that she doesn't know. Yeah, she doesn't know what the question is about. Okay, so listen carefully. What is the examiner asking? And give a precise answer first. You must form in your head, this is the precise answer, and this is my supporting details. Don't give all the detail, and all the while we are listening after 1 minute, what is the answer? Like just now I asked you, should you do this? You answer yes or no. Explanation comes later. So I have some questions for you. Is it okay to ask the examiner to repeat the question in order to get a bit more time to think?
Hello, Prof.
Yes, Oyami.
For me, no issue. So that you could answer correctly. You want to clarify the question again.
Okay, how many times can you do that?
For me, one time. After that will be a bit awkward.
All right. Any other views? The second bullet point actually just happened last week. The student asked the examiner, which part of my significance do you need clarification? Is it okay to ask the examiner such a question?
No.
No.
Yeah, no.
Yep, you are right. You all very good. You know what to do. Excellent. Is it okay to say, I don't know?
Pun tak okay.
Pun tak okay. But what if
Not
you
okay,
really
okay.
don't know?
Kadang-kadang kita tak boleh jawab kita tak tahu sebab nampak sangat kita memang tak kuasai apa yang kita nak buat. Sebaiknya kita akan kalau sesuatu perkara kita mungkin kita akan kata okey, saya ambil maklum dan akan merujuk balik maklumat tersebut.
Okay,
Maksudnya
all right.
begitu.
You have to try because you have to show that you know, right? Okay. I am glad just now Oyami said you can only ask the examiner to repeat the question one time only. More than that is awkward. Yes, because I have been on the receiving end of this. Not so much the postgrad students, because I think you all are more adult, you know the implication. But the FYP student can do it many times, the same student in that 15 minutes. It is not good because you are saying the examiner is not clear. Actually, we all know the student just need more time, but you cannot keep asking them, can you repeat the question? Because it says that we are not clear when we talk. We are not clear when we word the question. So you are saying the examiner is very lousy. So they are going to get angry. And the anger is going to reflect in the marks. Is it okay to say I don't know? But you have to try to explain first. When finally they still say no, you're not getting it right. You say, yeah, I will go back and read up and I will improve that part. Yes, but try first. Don't say I don't know first. When the question is asked, you listen carefully and you try to answer. Don't keep quiet and smile only. Okay. All right. Next one. Is it okay to tell the examiner, my supervisor asked me to do like this?
Big no, bro.
Memang tak boleh lah.
Definitely no.
Boleh
Why?
makan diri.
Why are you like now so confidently say no?
Because
No,
You know what,
because that
because
is your
this
research.
is our
yes,
own
betul.
research, right? So we just receive our feedback from our SV and so on. So we'll have to put in our heart and soul into our own research, bro. So we should be the one who knows from A to Z, from head to tail and everything, bro.
Okay. Is it okay to tell the examiner, I will discuss with my supervisor after this?
No, we have to look the answer from our own.
Yeah, because the second one, I was external examiner and the student said it like 4 or 5 times. Finally, I told her, stop saying it. Try to answer my question. Yeah. You say one time, it's like, okay, more than that, it's like, come on, you don't use it as a shortcut. What about the last one? Thank you for your comment. I will revise in my thesis.
Yes, bro.
Yes? Yes. Okay. Sometimes you have to look at the comment. Sometimes the comment is really spot on and is really a weakness in your study. There is no way you can talk around it, or you really forgot to write something and it's written badly. I think it is best just to say thank you for your comment. I will revise in my thesis. And no need to be too defensive. Okay? But sometimes they make a comment because they didn't understand something or they missed something because the thesis is very thick. You can actually explain why they are wrong, but you do it nicely, but you explain because it shows that you know what you are doing. It is okay. Most examiners are okay, provided you listen to their comments, you listen to the question, and you respond appropriately. Because the Viva is for you to show that this is your project, you know what you're doing. Last time, before 2025, maybe after COVID, there were some years, a lot of universities allow the students to do Viva from their home. Then they found out that there's probably some cheating happening because the students have people in the room helping them with the answers. So now they want the students to come here and do the Viva. So you are in the room, nobody can help you, and you must help yourself. So I am glad just now you told me that you need to own your study. Okay, even though the supervisor may have suggested something to you, and then the examiner say, come on, don't do that. I actually suggested a method of analysis to a student because I was afraid that they are going to say her analysis is too simple, like FYP, because it happened to one student in the past. So I gave her a more complex looking way to analyze, but she didn't understand. So they told her, no need to use that. But of course, that student kept quiet and didn't say, it's all my supervisor's fault. She asked me to use this when I don't understand. Well, she didn't say it. But later I was also happy that, okay, no need to use this. So yes, you need to own your study. But when your supervisor actually makes certain suggestions to you, you need to follow up, read a lot, because there are things in the internet you can read, you can understand, and you have to show you understand. So I did tell her, this is the panel for your defense. We don't know what the real examiners are going to say next time when your thesis is sent for examination. So this round you pass doesn't mean forever, people will not say your analysis is too simple like FYP. You only survive this round. So you have to know what you're doing to prove that what you're doing is more than final year project level. Okay. So the other two comments, you use it once or twice, maybe okay, but not every question. Try to answer, because a Viva is for you to prove that you know your stuff. So now I show you these two pictures. Images and then words. Of course, you can see that the right-hand side one is more soothing to the eyes. So we are going to move into content. Anything you want to talk about the human before we move to the content? Maybe you need
No, Prof. All good, Prof.
Oh, good. No need any 3-minute break. Should we continue?
Boleh, Prof.
Boleh. Okay.
Yes, Prof. Yes, Prof.
Because
Boleh, Prof.
today is not so dense, you see. It's not so dense. So I think it's okay for me to go one whole stretch and then we finish. Now, we go for the content, the slides. You as a performer, yes, but you cannot have nothing much to present. It's also very bad, even though you are a performer and entertainer, but nothing much, it also doesn't work. You need the two to be equally strong. So your slides must be informative and clear. Actually, these two words enough already. You don't need to listen to all the rest of what I say. If you know how to translate this to the slides, this is what we call operational definition. What I have given you here is only the conceptual definition. Slide contents must be informative and clear. So what do I mean by informative? What do I mean by clear? Later you will see. A little of information here, a little bit of the meaning here. Informative means lots of information, but the slide should not be crowded. So how to do it? You listen later. Clear, okay, clear. All the essential information are there and no extra, because the extra is going to confuse people. So it's easy for me to say. So later you listen how I operationalize it. So slides, I have a few points, 5 points. So number one, PowerPoint slides, Canva, etc. Whatever you use, you must spend time to make your slides informative and clear. Therefore, it doesn't work to do last minute slides. You need to work at it. Many rounds, it will continue to improve. Do you need the supervisor to comment on 10 rounds, 15 rounds? Maybe if you are someone who work at it fast, and then they give you feedback, you improve. More rounds doesn't mean it is better, because I've got students who make 15 rounds before it's finally okay. But actually, you don't need 15 rounds. Maybe 5 rounds is more than enough, but usually 1 to 2 rounds is not enough, because a lot of you do not do everything that is commented on. A lot of things still got missed. That's why it ended up with many rounds. But that is me. Some other supervisor feels that the student own the slides. Whatever it is, I've given my comments. You can just go with it and present a half lousy piece. It's okay. It's your business. For me, I always tell the students, no, not okay yet. Not okay yet. Until it's finally like kind of okay. All right, you can present. Okay, about slides, PowerPoint slides or Canva, it is not impressive if you cannot control the text and space on the slides. I try to find that set of slides a student in the past sent me, but I could not find it. Maybe that was in the hard disk that dropped, and then I lost that set. I mean, I could not access anything inside, so I could not recover everything from the year 2017 or 18 around there, except if they were in the email, so I could download those. Because there was a student who used something very fancy. When you click, it will balloon out and then it shows something, but then the text inside is very small in the end. It doesn't work. The animation may look fantastic, but the text is just too small. It's not okay. Do not use auto sizing of text boxes. After that, I have examples to show you. You must always be able to control the text and the space. For me, that's why I like manual cars. I can control the gear and everything. I do not like auto cars. Okay, I don't like the car to have a mind of its own. So definitely I don't like self-driving cars and so on. Okay, this one. This slide is not informative. Can you tell me where the main problem area is for me when I say it's not informative?
I think the image of the male and female doesn't seem to be suitable to represent the presentation.
Yeah, it's not important. I mean, it's a small thing, you know, male 28%, female 72%. Yes, you know, the amount of the body that is shaded somehow is represented by the percentage, but it is a very small thing. It is just that there are more female than male. Why waste like 1/3 of the slide for this? This is totally unimportant. Okay. You don't know the whole study, all right? So it's good, definitely can spot this. The other side, the discipline of study, actually is also not important because the whole study is about how social media text messages are written. And in the analysis, nobody cares whether they come from Faculty of Social Sciences or the Economics and Business. So therefore, there is no need to break it down to this. All right. Now, this one, a lot of you, when you make new slides, you use this. I do not like this because you type just one sentence, okay, it gives you size 40. As you type 3 sentences, it becomes size 28 and smaller. No, you can create the text box yourself. You insert the text box and you make it the font size that you want. You do not allow this template to resize for you. That is not clever. Okay, now you sometimes take from these free templates you think is very great. They position like this, they position like that. So you just put in the text and then they got interesting backdrop. No, I think you need to control the background and the positioning of the text and the illustrations on it. No need for any free templates. Design it the way you want. That is where your creativity comes in and it allows you to position things to your advantage, depending on what is the highlight. So now we move to number 2. Information more important than decoration. You are not doing interior design. You are making an informative presentation, but an interesting one. But all these things add up. Information is more important than decoration. The visuals must help you in the explanation. You don't put it there just for decoration. It must be useful and add some meaning to what you are saying. Why? Because when you put all these extra things, it reduces white space. I want to introduce this concept to you, white space. We often say do not crowd your slides, but there is this thing called white space. When I was doing my PhD in the University of Queensland, they had a lot of the weekend courses. And one weekend, I paid 100 Aussie dollars to attend a course on preparing magazine articles. And I learned a few things. Yeah, 100 Aussie is like 300 plus Malaysian ringgit. But it is useful because I learned about white space and something else I will share with you. The other things I might have forgotten, all right? Okay, these 2 things stayed with me because I didn't know them. They were like so new to me. Okay, white space. I have two down here. The left is a good example with white space. The right is too crowded, not enough white space. So you need to rearrange your text so that they do not take up all the space. You know, you see on the left-hand side, the good example with the white space, the tree is free to breathe. There is white space on the right-hand side and around it. So you don't trap the white space, a little here, a little there, a little, group them so that they are bigger space, bigger open space, put it that way. Now, I show you another one and I ask you, which one is better for white space, A or B? The visual is the same size. It takes 1/3 of the slide. The text is in the other 2/3. Which is better? Which makes more white space?
Hi, Prof. I think A looks better.
You think A looks better? Okay, looks better to you. Look at it in terms of white space. The amount of clear area. When you look out the window, you want to see that football field, and then in the distance, you see the trees and the mountain. Which
B is better, Dr. Prof.
Yeah, B gives
B,
you that uninterrupted view, and then you get angry when they build condo in front, and now your view is blocked. You cannot see the mountain in the distance. Okay, try to go for B, although the underline there, I think it's just for illustration. You do not need the underlines. The A create many boxes of black color. So that means it is occupying the space. There is less white space. If you make the B without the lines, it will be even cleaner. It will be easier for the eyes to see. So try to move away from making blocks of colors unnecessarily, okay? Because I am introducing white space to you, so it's a new concept to you. Unnecessary decoration, all right? There are compasses, there are circles, there are illustrations of ebooks and report. This is for the progress. All right. I show you the next one that I improved. Isn't it more meaningful? Because they want to know, should I give you the next amount of money for you to do the next few months of research work? The important thing is the calendar dates, so that will come down on the left-hand side. And the right-hand side will be what we want to do. It doesn't need to have illustrations of what an ebook is, unless you have kind of designed the cover. You can actually make a mock-up cover and you show it. That would be all right. But if you just want to show a clip art of it, there's no point. And the other one I want you to notice, besides removing all the extra circles, because that one actually eat up the white space, is the logo of UNIMAS. You know, in design, the top right-hand corner is the one that is for the most important information. And why is the UNIMAS logo that important to sit in the top right-hand corner? I move it down to the bottom. So long as we show that we belong to UNIMAS, we do not put it in the top right-hand corner because that is not vital information. So there are many things about positioning that shows importance and not important. Like when you have a photo taking, the important person always stands in the middle. There is even positions of importance on the slide, and you need to know it. Number 3, aesthetics, beauty. Divide the slides into 2 or 3 panels. If there are 2 or 3 types of information, you can use tables. It will be clearer than lots of lines of text. Concept maps are also good, and especially if you can sum up the literature review. This requires you to do synthesis. If there are steps, you use flow chart. but your flow chart must be informative. A lot of students do flow chart for data collection, and then another one data analysis, and there isn't much very important information inside there. And you can arrange information diagonally, but not haphazard. The things that are positioned on the slide must be arranged properly. You rearrange until it is the perfect white space and emphasis. And when you explain, you follow a certain sequence. You don't jump. So I have some slides from my students to show you. Slides divided into 2 panels, halves. Okay, halves. Because when she analyzed the results, she figured out that there is a public level and there is a personal level of tolerance, and it somehow affects tolerance. So she decided to spread it like this. I think it is good because it allows people to capture the 2 sets of results clearly. And the other one I want to tell you is you look at the bullet points. The first word in all the bullet points, there is something called a parallel structure, the same kind of beginning. Of course, this one I corrected for her. Know, read, have, tell family, speak up. Yeah, the second bullet point should be attend, okay? And sign. So it has to be parallel structure. If a verb, then all of it a verb. If all present tense, all of it present tense. Next one. This is the 1/3 rule. You divide the slide into 3 parts. You can have 3 parts, but you can have 2 plus 1. So her picture took out 2/3 and her text is 1/3. You can decide whether the text should go to the left or the picture to the left. In this case, for her, the picture is more important because she's going to explain based on the picture. The text is just there to help in case she forgot things and for the audience to read. But she's not going to read the points on the side. She's just going to talk about it. And you also would see that she has carefully made text boxes have different colors because there are different kinds of information. The blue one is actually attitude, the implicit or the explicit. And there are pink color ones. Those are the demographic variables about the respondents. And she also had the dotted lines because she found that these results for age and grade come together, dialect area and university come together. So you carefully make this. And then she also has arrows that goes up and go down, some arrow longer than others. They all have a meaning. When she explains, it will all become clear. So when you make this, it really takes time to make. It is not just quickly made. And this is made by making the text boxes one by one, not using smart art because it doesn't give you that flexibility. That's why I say, drive a manual car, you decide how your car should move. The text boxes, you design them one by one, make the arrow one by one. Diagonal arrangement when it is suitable. In this case, the means keep increasing, all right? So it looks suitable to use as staircase, but you don't have to use it. That's why you have to study your results, the kind of information you want to present and decide what is the best arrangement so that aesthetically it looks good. And this one has a lot of white space, okay? Now, concept map, this is actually the conceptual framework. It shows the constructs that are studied, the relationship between them, and the objectives. So they are all here. And I think this is a very good job because it shows everything. This is based on 3 theories put together. The contents of the theory you can see on the top and on the left and on the right. You actually don't need to do the top and the left and the right. You only need the middle. That is fine actually. But this student, he is now Dr. Zhang Kai. He is very meticulous in the things he does and somehow he can carry off. It didn't look too crowded because he used a different coloring for those boxes at the side. Now, concept map to synthesize literature review. there was a student who did it, but I somehow couldn't get that version of the slides. But since that time, I have asked other students to do it, but they couldn't do it, but Nasrin can make it. So I show you one. You can see that she has color, also color coding, harmonious, green color, good thing, you know, traffic light, green, you move, red, no good. No good ethnic relations, she put red color. Okay, so she can summarize the results like this after she has given summaries of them one by one. All right. It's not that she just have this. She actually has summaries one by one. That's why it was very clear to the examiner. She knew what she's doing. She was given 6 months, no issue. It's just that she has to revise things because every thesis needs to be corrected. So she proved that she can synthesize the information. This is only one because she has a number of these. On aesthetics, now I have questions to ask you. Is it okay to write full sentences?
Hi, Prof.
Yes, yes.
I think it is not okay, unless you're quoting someone with a full quote, because if you write in full sentences, it will take up a lot of space, and it might tempt you to read as well.
Yeah, good point, good
Yeah.
point.
Yes, agree, Prof. Agree.
Agree. Okay. When should numbers or bullet points be used?
If for numbers, right, Prof? So when we want to state a sequence and whatnot, right? So then only we should say that, this is point one, and then it will be followed by point two, then step three, and so on.
Yeah, you are right. Yes. If there is no particular sequence, you can just use bullet points. Don't need to use numbers. Should I use right justify for text alignment? Right justify is the top right-hand corner, the one with the equal lines on the right-hand side, the number 4 here. Should I use right justify for text alignment?
For slides, no need, Prof.
You are absolutely right. Okay. I purposely color the left justify because I want you to use left justify. All right, because it will create more white space. I just for illustration now all change these to right justify. Now you look at it. Isn't it covering more of the slides? So it will be not good. It will reduce the white space. So if I go back to this, that will open up the space. You can look out and see the mountain in the distance. The open field is bigger like this. All right. So you are recommended to use left justify. When you prepare documents, when you write books, you can use right justify. Number 4, color contrast. There must be a clear contrast. That's why since the year I started to teach in UNIMAS, I was initially asked to teach the year 2003. I taught educational technology and referred to a US book. They said the best contrast is actually yellow and black. So I just go by it, yellow and black. So yellow become my trademark. But yellow and white is, black and white is what a lot of people do. Okay. But you must always watch out for colorblind audience. Green and red, all the same to them. So don't do green and red together. Use color to highlight important words. I have followed this rule because it helps me to know what to say. When I look at the slide from a distance, I know this is what I should say. I do not need to know the rest of the sentences because I made the slide, so I know what's there. But I need the color to stand out. And maximum 3 colors. Don't do rainbow colors, too many. Don't go crazy. Which has better color contrast, A or B?
A.
Yeah,
A.
thank you. Yes, it's very obvious. So I hope this illustrates to you that it is important to look at color contrast. And sometimes on our computer screen, it looks like this, but when it's projected and goes onto other people's computer, it's different. So maximize the contrast. That's what I would say. Number 5, the text. Maximum 8 lines per slide. When you really cannot help it, you go to 10, but I don't think you should do more than that. Try to have just this. It's comfortable, like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, 10, enough already. Cannot go bigger. More than that. Minimum size 24. The bigger, the better. When you have the opportunity, you make the text bigger. You can reduce the white space, but this is a matter of how you play with it so that you can have bigger text and also lots of white space, like what you see on this slide. And for me, even when I make a table, I go and make the numbers bigger than the text because it's harder for people to see the numbers. It's okay. It's okay. You can make the numbers slightly bigger than the text. Not all have to be the same size. And the other thing about text is clean font types like Arial, Calibri, Tahoma. Don't use Times Roman because it's got the tail like that, then it will be more difficult and messy for the eyes. I purposely put all this here. I hope you can see that Times New Roman is not desirable for presentation. And if you all next time go and work for advertising companies and make banners, please do not use Times Roman. Okay? Now, what did I do to increase text size? Can you look at the 3 down the page? Suppose I want to show this to you as an illustration.
Reduce the spacing, Prof.
The spacing of the side, is it? Or the
Spacing in between the lines, Prof.
Oh, between the lines, okay.
Hello, Prof.
Oh, Yummy?
I believe you change the color and then you change maybe the font.
I try not to change the font, but I did not change the color. Yeah, I couldn't get the same blue color as the student who prepared this. Yeah.
Okay, right.
The first 2 are actually print screen. So the very first one has a lot of things on the side, the white space on the side. So when you have a white space on the side, it does not allow me to pull to the max. So I decided to cut out some on the side. After that, I felt it is still too small for me. So I copy it out. The last one is actually copied out and put there. Yes, with all the, mistakes. I hope you have seen it and I hope, you feel you cannot stand it. So that is the next one. No typos or mistakes whatsoever. So the word theoretical is spelled wrong. The word markedness is spelled wrong. It is very bad impression like this, okay? No typo. That's why I need to check. I mean, on my slide, I also had typo. Because yesterday I started the slides without my specs. When I went to Sabah for the conference, I was doing work on the plane. I put my spec in front of me. After that, by the time I reached the UMS, the spec is gone. I don't know, drop in the plane or drop in the airport. So I just had to make the font size very big and then try to make the slide. So I didn't see some of the mistakes. I saw 2, typing mistakes. All right. Question for you. Is it okay to use 4 to 5 text types, some for headings, others for text? Some people do that for the variety to distinguish the heading from the text.
Maybe not too many 4 to 5 text types, Prof.
How many, Cheryl, would you use? Acceptable.
Actually, preferably the same text type.
Uh,
It looks more neat.
yeah. If you must,
Yeah.
you can use slightly different one for the heading, but that's it. I think 2 text type would be enough. Next question. Is it okay to use italics, bold, and underline all at once? Very, very, very important. I want you to see it.
Absolutely no, Prof. No.
Yeah, you know, in research writing, italics is for another language. Bold and underline you can use for emphasis, but not all at one go. Okay. Okay. Is it okay to use capital letters on slides?
Nampak marah tu.
No,
Nampak
Prof.
marah.
Depends on it. Yeah.
Tak,
Be-
tak okay.
Besides the impression of anger, what about readability? Which is easier to read, the first one or the second one?
Second one.
Yeah.
The second one, Prof.
This is also what I learned in the educational technology course that I was teaching, and I also learned. It says that when you have capital letters, they are very squarish. They are all very squarish. And if you cover the top part, if you take piece of paper and cover the top, you see the bottom, you may not be able to figure out. But if you cover the bottom for the second one, which is not capital letters, you can still kind of read because it has more shape to it. So reduce capital letters. Don't need to use capital letters actually. You just use bigger font size and slightly different color for the heading, like what I do here. I use reddish for the heading. So don't use capital letters. Just to make sure, because a lot of students still like to use, so I just want to illustrate using this. But at the same time, I also want to show you operational definition of terms, okay? A lot of students just got stuck on the conceptual definition, like the dictionary meaning, but they never move to their study. In their study, how is it operationalized? So I want to share with you this particular example. In this study, it refers to fear control refers to participants' tendency to cope with fear of the danger posed by colorectal and lung cancer. So this student is studying two types of cancer, so it applies to only these two, and the tendency to cope, etc., like denial, making up excuses. And okay, now I put all into capital letters. Now you see, you really cannot read anymore, right? Yeah. Just to illustrate to you so that after today, you don't simply use capital letters. Small letter is better. Okay. All right. Number 5 on the text, I still got a bit more, but it's moving towards the end. The most important thing is coming up. How to reduce the text. How do I reduce the text? Use points, not full sentences, and delete repetitions. Number 1, maybe easy to follow. Number 2, you read, and I hope you can see the repetition, because that is a major problem, resulting in so many sentences, but not that much information actually, because they are said in different ways. Get rid of them. And also, you need to know what is important. How to know what is important? You read and see, if I get rid of this, is any important meaning lost or not? No. So that means you can get rid of it. You need to reread what you have written on the slides and correct it many rounds until it's perfect in your eyes. And during presentation, before that, I print out my slides, I write things down. And I hope very much that I can remember a lot of the things. So when I present, I have something that is not on the slide and I can talk, and that will make you look very knowledgeable. Try doing that, okay? But don't read from the notes. Whatever you forgot doesn't matter. Let them ask you during Q&A. But if you can say something outside of what is on the slide, definitely that is impressive. All the YouTube people, they just talk. They do not have to refer to anything. Maybe some of them are helped by the scrolling words in front of them, but that one is something we cannot see, and you don't have the technology to do. Okay. So this one I share with you. Just now I asked you the question, is it okay to use full sentences? Now, when Zankai first came to me, his English was not so good. If I give him a point form, I think he cannot string the sentences together. So I allowed him to have some slides with full sentences, especially in the introduction part when you are first launching into it. So, but I told him, this slide, you only say one sentence. Okay, I want to ask you, how does he know which sentence to say? How did I help Zankai to know which sentence to say?
The ones that were being underlined and the ones that were being bolded or being colored.
Daphne, can you try to say one sentence from this slide?
Ayo. I also pening looking at all the sentences being packed in one slide because I'm struggling actually right now.
Okay, I tell you what he said. All right, he said previous research has shown that social media can reduce culture shock and increase self-efficacy of international students. Boleh? It covers all the meaning that is there. The rest you examiner can go and read. Like that. Okay? That's what you need to learn. That's how I helped him, but he actually memorized. When I saw him present, even though his accent was so strong, we couldn't really hear. Some people not used to him. I can understand him because he works with me closely. It guided him on what to say. I thought of a way that is to underline it, but actually he need not read the underline because he's very hardworking. He went to memorize. At the end of it, I said, "You memorize everything, right?" He said, "Yes," because I could see that he maintained eye contact. He was not reading from the slides. Okay, better still, use points. So later on, when he came to results presentation, his English got better because he came here for like 3 to 4 months at one time, speak English to me, maybe speak English to people in Dahlia. So you see the second part, positive social interactions predicted international students. First bullet point, personal growth initiative. Second bullet point, retention in China, ability to handle adaptation challenges. So bullet points are always better. Just now you feel like it's opening because it's full sentences. No good. Yes, no good. And this one is a technique I work out to help a student who was so scared to present. So scared, so scared. She said she doesn't know how to present. So I told her, you have to do summaries of all your results. Literature review. So one slide is one study, but you write one sentence down here that can capture everything important. The rest, we just let the audience read for themselves. Now, this is one thing you need to know. Your slides must be informative, but you do not need to say everything because people can read, but you say the most important. So Nazreen said, Coates and Senecal reveal that the Orania community is the target of racist remarks from the rest of the people in South Africa. So, finish. Of course, you can say it came from Twitter feeds. I think the word Twitter possibly would be good to be included, but that's it. The rest of the information, read for yourself. But she said only one sentence. So she could present like 20 summaries and only 20 sentences. So not taking up so much time. One sentence, maybe only 10 seconds, 15 seconds. Now, just now, the one that made Daphne so pening. Okay, would you like to try to edit it? This is practice. It's important because you listen, after that you go and prepare one that is full of full sentences again. All right, so I made this one called after editing. I want us to do it together because this one only 3 points is not so hard for us to understand. Make into bullet points. This is a skill and I want you to spend time on it. Don't go away yet because I'm going to finish already. This is slide 45. We're going to finish at 50. Can you tell me what words to delete? All right, I want to ask you, do you need the word previous research?
No, I don't think so.
No need, Prof.
Why no need?
Perlu, Prof.
Okay, perlu and tidak perlu. Why?
Maybe no need, Prof, because of the year stated 2021.
No need because Hassan is the
The
previous
citation is
research.
there already.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, what else can we delete? Maybe has shown that no need. because the person you put at the back means he has shown it. Now, how else can we write it so that we cut down the number of words and use bullet points?
Social media.
Media, but I think you need social
No,
media.
yang second one.
Don't go second point. First point.
Yeah, first point.
First
Yeah.
point, first point. First point can still minus, so that we try to keep to 2 lines only. Let's make it 2 lines. I would probably change this one. At least it got rid a bit more. Now the first line, I think we can reduce. This one onwards, this one we cannot reduce anymore. This one. Maybe I would put this one to the end. Do we need new cultural environment?
Yes.
If we reduce the word cultural, can or not?
Yes,
Yeah.
because when we put using social media can reduce culture shock for international students. From my point of view, I'm saying the phrase international students. When we talk about international students, we already have in our mindset that those students are not originally from our background. So we know that yes.
Like this lah. Okay,
Yeah,
okay. Yeah, all right. Thank you.
Yeah, and I think culture shock also covers that.
Yeah, good,
culture
good.
shock.
Let's work on the next one, the 4 lines. Okay, let's see. Okay, I got away now. Maybe I move back the international students in front, okay? Because you see that using social media is here, right? It's also here, right? So maybe I want to make like this. You see, this is the same one. This is the same. But we,
Yeah.
right? Because so become like that.
Yes, ma'am.
Like
Maybe,
this.
Prof. So, for the first word, right? So we can just state whether it increases or it reduces, it enhances, and so on. So at least we can,
Yes.
have an overview ready.
Yes.
What
So,
increases, what reduces, and so on.
So we put this here, okay? Increases. No need there, okay? It doesn't need to be grammatical because you are making points. Self-efficacy or self-confidence maybe need to explain. This one based on Bandura, which is self-efficacy in social situations, social self-efficacy. Now this part is a bit long there. Social media use can increase cross-cultural adaptation, self-efficacy, or self-confidence. Maybe just stop the sentence. This is some definition there. I'm not sure whether it's necessary because it's a definition there. If we take it out, I think it's also okay in the presentation, don't you think? This one.
Hi, Prof.
Yeah.
It's actually a definition because I'm also working on self-efficacy. So I think we can include in reference together with Ku, Rogela, and Bandura.
So how do you settle the part that I highlighted? because you put it here is very odd. Maybe we move it to the bottom. We move to the bottom first. This one, I still want to go back to this. Using social media can reduce, can increase. This one have to be N. Okay, this one here. Social media use and social self-efficacy represent key coping resources. Social media, social media here and self-efficacy represent key coping. Maybe this is a separate point. We cannot do anything. You think so? We don't need to say represent. We can say are. So that is simpler to overcome the challenges. And now this one we can shorten. Use your English and shorten it. And simpler to say.
In overcoming cross-cultural adaptation. That's simple.
Yeah, I think this middle part can go, right?
Yeah.
To overcome must have problems. So how else you put it? To adapt. No, just go like that. It's the same meaning in cross-cultural adaptation, correct or not?
If I were to see that one, people will ask, I think the examiner will ask, what is the thing that you want to cope with in cross-cultural adaptation? Because it's not clear.
Okay, so you need challenges, I guess, then you cannot get rid of it. I think you still need overcoming challenges. Okay, but I think the slide is definitely more friendly already. But I still don't know what exactly to do with this one, because if you put it there, some examiner are going to ask you, why for your second bullet point, you only have self-efficacy and you have Bandura, social self-efficacy. How come Hu and Rogala did not study social self-efficacy? And then that last one, the social self-efficacy, suddenly the word social is there, but the second bullet point didn't have social. So I think this one need a bit of going back to the literature to see whether Hu and Rogala actually did have this word social here or not, or it just got left out. Okay, so you probably need to go back and check in order then to decide what to do with this particular one, because it's a very odd thing sitting here. But at least I have shown you how to make the text less and clearer in meaning. Okay. I have a very long one, but I will not take you through it, but you can try the exercises of reducing it. So now let's look at the final part on audience awareness. When we present, we are talking to people. We need to connect to them, okay? So 4 points to finish off. Always obey the time limit. You can talk less, but not exceed. But if you cannot talk too much less, that means your content is not enough. Okay, obey the time limit. Example, most of the time we ask you to present and finish in 20 minutes. So you must know which slide is more important. In the conference yesterday and the day before, suddenly we knew from the slots given we have 15 minutes. Suddenly we were told you can only present for 10 minutes and there'll be 5 minutes of Q&A. At 8 minutes, the bell will ring. At 10 minutes, the second bell will ring. So by 6 minutes, some of them were still at the introduction and just touch on the method. That is not okay. You know, in the presentation, people want to know your results. The front part is just the front part. It's a little, is enough. We want to hear more about the results. So you need to know what is important. So in your defense, yes, the research problem and the gap is very important. Your method is also very important. because people want to know you can do the study. But by the time you come to your results presentation and the viva, the first part is not so important. The things need to appear on the slide, but you cannot be reading there too long. But you do need to explain your results and especially your discussion and conclusion and give it a bit more thought there. So the time depends on the purpose of that presentation. Number two, you must understand what is supposed to be put in each thesis section, the headings. You do not simply put things. Students don't know the difference between data collection, data analysis, instrument, whatsoever. Things just appear like Malaysian rojak, the fruit salad. You throw in the pineapple, you throw in the sengkuang, you throw in the tofu, you throw in whatever, just mix it. If you don't do that in a thesis, it's very clear what is supposed to go where. And number three, read the marking criteria to know what marks are given for and make sure you have all those things. You may not say everything, but they must appear on your slide so that when people question you, you can go back and show. And finish well. What do I mean finish well? Is it okay to end a presentation with that's all? We always say that, right? That's all. Thank you. If you have any questions, please ask me now.
Not really, Prof. Because it might seem that it is a bit impolite, Prof.
Is not giving yourself enough importance. You know, people remember your last sentence. So prepare a memorable sentence to say, you know. For example, the important contribution of your study. My study, for example, let's say I use Monica as an example. My study shows that women are more afraid of cervical cancer screening than breast cancer screening because of the shame attached to cervical cancer. So I think this is a great contribution to the field because it helps us to know what kind of health communication strategies we should use. I think you finish like that, say thank you, okay. Don't say all those unimportant things that dilute the impact of what you have. Okay, when questioned, is it okay to say, I don't have it in my slides, but I have it in my thesis?
Okay.
Not okay, not okay. Whatever important things must appear on your thesis, on your slides. If you have forgotten, this seems like very lame. Actually, we don't know whether you have it in the thesis. It just seems like an excuse to us. So that's why your slides must be very, very comprehensive. Okay? Yeah. You can have many slides, but each slide you say only one sentence and you arrange it so that it's got lots of white space and you don't have extra words. So it will be very complete. So final slide, I tell you, to make a winning presentation, whether it is defense, results, viva, conference, both the human and the content or the slides must be great. All right. So I hope after this, you will make great presentations and become a great YouTuber as well. Thank you.
Hi, Prof.
Yes.
I have a question.
All right.
All right. Okay. I want to ask about the slides which we normally put the table with research aim, research objective, and research questions. Okay, so that's quite a lot. And we are going to insert the table into the slide. So what do you think?
Why insert the table into the slide?
I mean, to put on the table to the slide. So is it okay that way?
Why do you need a table in the slides? That one you don't need a table. What is the table showing?
The table is, we have research aim on top of it. And then towards our left, we have the objectives.
Oh.
And then towards our right, we have the research questions.
Oh, okay. If that's how your supervisor wants it, I guess you have to. But it is making the slide very crowded.
Yes.
For my student, they choose either objective or research question.
All right, Prof.
Because they are the same actually.
Okay, that's my question. Thank you, Prof.
Thank you.
Maksudnya Prof, berbalik kepada yang rakan tadi cakap, persoalan kajian tu tak perlu sangat kan Prof. Dia kalau dah objektif tu dah jelas, maksudnya kita dalam report ke dalam ni tak semestinya perlu ada kan?
Yeah, for me tak perlu ada, tapi certain supervisor nak, so letak sajalah. Kalau tak perlu, you just jangan letak dulu. Bila mereka minta, then you letak, because this one will not cause you to fail.
Okay, faham. Terima kasih Prof.